Hello friends, my name is Ashok Sen Gupta, working as assistant professor in School of Management Sciences, Lucknow. Today's topic is based on capital structure theories, and today we will discuss on irrelevance theory. In previous classes, we discussed about near about 3 theories which are relevance in theories also, and these theories are basically gives the relationship between leverage, cost and value of the firm. In this theory, there is some differences given by the Modi, Gilani and Miller. They are the authors and they give lot of theories in financial management. They have some different view towards the capital structure. In previous lectures, we able to understand about 3 things or 3 theories. I just make a small recap. First theory is NI approach. NI approach said when there is a constant cost of debenture, when there is a constant equity cost, then overall cost of capital will decreases and value of the firm increase, But in the other hand, NOI approach, net operating income approach, have some different aspects. In that theory, cost of capital remain constant with the debt capital, cost of debt, but by adding more debt, value of equity, or you can say cost of equity, will increases, as it also hampers the value of the firm. So, NOI approach is different aspect and NOI opposite aspects. But there is a third approach, there is a traditional approach. In traditional approach, it is a blend or mixture of NI and NOI approach at first level and second level. Here in traditional theory, if we add debenture in our portfolio, initially cost of debenture remain constant, overall cost of capital move downward, and there is very little movement toward upward movement in equity share, equity capital. But additionally, when we add additional debenture onwards, suddenly overall cost of capital remain constant. Now initially it was this, now it is this. Same thing happened with cost of equity, it moving now with maximum growth towards upward, it increases, it start increasing with good rate, cost of equity increases. But if company not follow this or ignoring this factor and add another more, some more debts, then overall cost of capital increases, cost of debenture also increases and equity increases. Now, three factor, the cost of equity, overall cost of capital and cost of dividend, all three moving upward, all three moves upward. This shows heavy cost pay to the companies. Therefore, theory suggests that company have to maintain a optimum balance between where the cost of capital will constant or overall cost of capital is constant. But Modi Gilani having some different approach. In this approach, Modi Gilani hypothesis is identical with NOI approach if tax are ignored. If we ignoring the taxes, then Modi Gilani hypothesis is similar to the NOI approach, net operating approach, and therefore, this theory is known as theories of irrelevance. In the absence of taxes, theories of irrelevance, they assume that there is no tax, tax नहीं है, टैक्स नहीं पे करना पड़ता. Theories of irrelevance. Now, the irrelevance proportion theory is a theory of corporate capital structure that was developed by Merton Miller and Franco Modigliani. Both are the writer researchers and they both give their theory in 1958. This theory states that the capital structure of a company does not affect its value, same to the NOI. They stated that capital structure of a company does not affect its value. This is even amidst the financial leverage of a company such as loan and debt. The value of firm remain unchanged. So far there are no distress cost or income tax that must paid by the same company. अगर कोई इनकम टैक्स या फिर कोई ऐसी कॉस्ट पे नहीं करनी पड़ रही है, सो देयर इज़ नो चेंज इन द वैल्यू ऑफ द फर्म. Either we can add any type of financial leverage or financial mix in the company's capital structure. So, these are the thoughts of Modigliani. Additionally, the irrelevance proposition theorem is otherwise called capital structure irrelevance principle theory. It is also known as capital structure irrelevance principle theory. According to the proponent of this theory, Miller and Modigliani, a company can obtain fund through equity and debt, while both equity and debt having pros and cons when used in finance in company. but both they said by using them companies does not affect its value, कंपनी की वैल्यू पर कोई फ़र्क नहीं आएगा अगर हमें डेप्ट या इक्विटी दोनों लेते हैं. वी ऑल नो दैट देयर इज़ अ some pros and some cons of equity and debt. Equity having the voting rights, they are the ownership, but we are company not legally bound to pay the dividend every year if company is suffering financial losses. Companies suffering financial losses. On the other hand, debenture holders they are outsiders, but debenture holder they are outsider and do not need, they do not interfere in any matter of the company. They are not decision makers, they are the owners, they are not owners, they are not voting rights, they have not voting rights, but company have to pay fixed percentage of interest to the debenture holders from their profit. If they are not earning profit, if in loss cases they have to pay may in same year or accumulate that one and have to pay in the next year, but they have to pay, they are legally bound. But as per the Modigliani and Miller theory, whatever the combination we have, it will not affect the value of the firm, it will not affect the value of the firm at all if we ignore the taxes. The main idea behind this theory is that the capital structure of firm does not have an impact on its overall value, especially company is not in a financial distress, having a difficulty to pay back the loan. Distress means having the difficulty to pay back the loan and debt, and if there is no income tax payment made by the company. So, if there is no difficulty to pay back the loan and debt and company no need to pay the income tax, then it will not hamper the value of the firm. उनके थ्योरी का निकालने की वजह ये थी कि अगर हम टैक्स नहीं देते हैं और हम पैसा पूरा दे सकते हैं, कंपनी पैसा अपने डिबेंचर होल्डर्स को इंटरेस्ट पूरा दे सकती है, पर टैक्स है ही नहीं, तो उसके वैल्यू ऑफ द फर्म में कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ेगा क्योंकि टैक्स नहीं देना है, टैक्स नहीं देना है. There are some criticism of relevance proposition theorem includes the absence of realism in the theory as it is excluded the effect of income tax and distress cost from a company's capital structure. Second, test the theorem is quite difficult because factors that affect value of the firm are excluded. Theorem also failed to describe financial operations of company and how they work. I am sorry, this is how. Hence, there are criticism of every theorem. There is a criticism of every theorem. In physics, we there is a theorem in science, we have lots of theorem, and mathematics there is theorem and criticism also. Similarly, there is a criticism of the theorem of Modigliani, and in this theorem first criticism is reality, absence of reality. It is possibly nahi, it is not possible a company not pay the tax, income tax, especially income tax. If it is a company in nowadays, or it is a, if it is a company, the company have to pay the income tax. Tax तो pay करना ही पड़ेगा. If you are earning, then you have to pay the tax. If you come under this slab of tax, you have to pay the tax. You can save tax, but tax चुराना is a offence. Companies try to save the tax by some legal, there are some legal sections or deductions through which if you invested, for individual also, इंडिविजुअल के लिए भी होता है कि आप यहाँ पे आकर सेक्टर 80C, 80U, 80E, 80D, 80CCC एक्सेट्रा में आप इन्वेस्ट करते हैं, तो योर एक्सपेंसेस है डिडक्टेड एंड वैल्यू ऑफ द टैक्सेशन, नेट वैल्यू ऑफ फॉर द टैक्स विल डिक्रीज. Otherwise, you have to pay the tax for it is for the individual. Similarly, if you are corporate, then it is obvious that you have to pay the tax. And to pay that, and it is not supposed, and it is quite unrealistic, unrealistic, कंपनी को टैक्स पे ना करना पड़े. Secondly, distressed cost. In present day, no company is who is not suffering from financial distress. There is a financial issues in each and every company, either any company, it is a top 100 companies from worldwide or any company, they always having some issues in finance. No company said that I am free from financial distress. Cost issues, because cost of running cost or raw material cost or working capital cost increases day by day, and these costs impact the companies, hamper the company. Cost, due to increase in the cost, it is difficult to maintain the profit, and to sustain in the market you have to maintain the profit with quality product and services. Therefore, it is quite unrealistic distress cost. No company is free from the cost. This theorem is also criticized by testing. In previous theories, we test the theory with various factors, but factors affecting the values of the firm are excluded. And theorem also failed to explain financial operation of the company. How company do its financial operations? If company is distress free, company not paying the tax, how it operate, how it's do the its operations, okay, business operations. These are the some assumptions of these are the some assumptions of theory. First assumption is no corporate tax. Second assumption is there is a perfect market. Third is investor is rational. Fourth is as expected earning, all firms are having identical risk characteristics. this is important. First is we know that no corporate tax, we are using corporate tax है नहीं. Second is perfect market. What is perfect market? A market where similar type of product, each and every people know the market prices, no government interference. This is a perfect. Investor is rational. Expected earning of the firm have a identical risk characteristics. This means whatever you earn, the company, whatever earning by the company or companies, various companies, they having the same kind of risk. They have the identical risk characteristics, same kind of risk characteristics. The cutoff point of investment in a firm is capitalization rate. Rate of capitalization is a cutoff point. यहाँ पे इतना आपको करना है, that is the cutoff point. These are the assumptions of Modigliani approach. Now, we can understand this by a small numerical, first graphical representation. Similarly, as per the previous graph, yellow one line is belongs to the cost of equity, green one is overall cost, and red one is cost of debenture. Here we can see that at initial level when we adding debentures, more and more debenture, one here, overall cost of capital remains same, and it remains same. But by adding more equity, by adding more debentures, the cost of equity moves down. Cost of equity moves down. This is a new aspect. डिवेंचर ऐड कर रहे हैं तो कॉस्ट ऑफ इक्विटी नीचे जा रही है, क्योंकि डिवेंचर सस्ता होता है, इक्विटी महंगा होता है, तो ओवरऑल कॉस्ट ऑफ वेटेज ले रहे हैं वो कांस्टेंट है. तो यहाँ तक ये समझ लीजिए कि एक दूसरे को ये आर्बिट्रेज कर रहे हैं या फिर एक दूसरे को संभाल रहे हैं. यहाँ तक हमने कॉस्ट दिया और यहाँ तक टेक लाइन. कांस्टेंट क्यों जा रहा है, ये नीचे आ रहा है, ये कांस्टेंट है, तो इसके कांस्टेंट रहने से ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा इस्तेमाल करने से कॉस्ट ऑफ इक्विटी हमारी कम हो रही है. एंड कॉस्ट ऑफ इक्विटी फर्दर मूव डाउन, बट ओवरऑल cost of capital remains same and cost of debenture increases. ये भी होता है. ज़्यादा डिवेंचर लेने से डिवेंचर वाले, फिर मैंने कहा डिवेंचर डेप्ट्स इंक्रीज होने लगते हैं, क्योंकि बैंक्स लोन वगैरह इंक्रीज होने लगती हैं फिर, क्योंकि आपका ऑलरेडी आपने डेप्ट ले रखा है. बट साथ ही में इक्विटी कैपिटल भी नीचे इसलिए होने लगता है कि एक्सपेक्टेशन जो है इक्विटी शेयर वालों की कम हो गई है, हम कम डिविडेंड दे रहे हैं, तो ओवरऑल कॉस्ट रिमेन कांस्टेंट. ओवरऑल कॉस्ट रिमेन, ये ऊपर की तरफ चला, ये नीचे आए तो ओवरऑल कॉस्ट हमारा. तो दिस इज द ग्राफिकल रिप्रेजेंटेशन ऑफ मोदिग्लानी अप्रोच. डू ए न्यूमेरिकल, छोटा सा न्यूमेरिकल है. नो टैक्स EBIT 24 लाख रुपया इफ पे आउट इन डिविडेंड. माना कि सब कुछ डिविडेंड पे होता है. XY यूज डेप्ट 8% बोरो किया उसने डिवेंचर के लिए, डेप्ट के लिए 8% इंटरेस्ट देना पड़ेगा उनको. कॉस्ट ऑफ इक्विटी 12% है. अगर टैक्स के बिना डेप्ट 1 करोड़ हो जाता है, हमें टैक्स नहीं देना है, तो हमें 3 चीज़ें निकालनी है: वैल्यू ऑफ द फर्म, इक्विटी एंड लीवरेज. वैल्यू ऑफ द फर्म, वैल्यू ऑफ द इक्विटी एंड लीवरेज इक्विटी, कॉस्ट ऑफ इक्विटी. तो देखिए, फार्म टोटल वैल्यू V इक्वल्स टू KT माइनस E, ये हम जानते हैं. 24 लाख रुपए हमारा EBIT था, 24 लाख रुपया EBIT था और कॉस्ट ऑफ डिवेंचर इक्विटी हमारा 12% था। ये तो यहाँ क्या किया हमने, 2 करोड़, V क्या हुआ हमारा 2 करोड़। ओवरऑल कॉस्ट नहीं पता होगा तो हम कॉस्ट ऑफ इक्विटी से कर देते हैं, तो कॉस्ट ऑफ हमारा 12 करोड़ हो गया। फर्म्स इक्विटी वैल्यू एस वी नो डेट D - 1, तो हमारे पास V तो है 2 करोड़, ये आया 2 करोड़, और 1 करोड़ हमने डिवेंचर लेने की बात की थी प्रीवियस स्लाइड में, क्वेश्चन में 1 करोड़ डिवेंचर लेने की बात की थी हमने यहाँ पर, 1 करोड़, यस। तो हमारे पास इक्विटी मार्केट शेयर कितना बचा, 1 करोड़। लीवरेज ऑफ द फर्म, तो इक्विटी शेयर 12% है हमारे पास, तो फॉर्मूला होगा इक्विटी कैपिटल प्लस इक्विटी कैपिटल माइनस कॉस्ट ऑफ डेप्ट, इक्विटी कैपिटल माइनस कॉस्ट ऑफ डेप्ट, दिस इक्वल्स टू 16%। सो फर्म लीवरेज, फर्म को लीवरेज मिल रहा है, फर्म को जो लीवरेज मिल रहा है वो मिल रहा है 16% पे। सो कॉस्ट ऑफ द इक्विटी डेप्ट इज लीवरेज ऑफ द फर्म इज 16%. So this is the small numerical which reflects the theory of Modigliani-Miller approach, and so in today's session we discuss about the theory, irrelevance theory of the Modigliani and Miller approach, which is assumed that there is no tax पे नहीं करना है, कंपनी के पास कोई डिस्ट्रेस नहीं है, कॉस्ट डिस्ट्रेस नहीं है। when there is no cost distress, no tax, then at certain level cost of debenture will increase, cost of equity will decrease, but overall cost of the firm remain constant. So overall cost of the firm remains constant. So this theory is also known as the irrelevance theory. In the coming lectures, you can we will discuss some other theories with tax arbitrage process. So I hope you understand these theories, and you able to understand the difference between the NI, NOI traditional approach and Modigliani approaches with the numericals. These are some referencing points, there are some books which you can refer, and thank you for watching this video.